C. Now our chord here. Hello everybody! I will superimpose major triads of all kinds on always the same bass note, and we will find out there's no clear wrong or right. Actually, they can take you on a beautiful journey to really strange countries. Let's go on this trip together. Enjoy! And I want you to pay attention to a couple of elementary things. First, your first impression, your first feeling if you hear this chord over the C. And then, secondly, how that feeling changes. Do you adjust somehow? What does change? Now, observe your feeling. There should be a feeling of tension at least. Now, I put it in context. It's in the context of a story, and we resolve the tension. This is building up. Now we move to something that is part of the C major diatonic universe, and we go back. Now comes the second bit that is important to make a sound, a chord sound great, that originally was like almost wrong. Okay. C, D, inversion, and back to C. We already touched two important factors, the chord progression that embeds it for your ear, and the melody. The stranger the chord is we use, the better the melody must be to connect it. There must be a logic of some way. Logic, like for the ears, an aesthetic logic, okay? Let's take the next one. The next one we are going to take is the E major triad. This is a tough one. Again, open your ears. Can hardly enjoy my tea. Now, okay, full of tension. Of course, as you can see in my chord software display, these you can interpret also as something else. In this case, the C major chord with the sharp 5 and the major. But we just want to regard this as the E triad over C, okay? Anyway, this is also not part of the C diatonic scale of our key, which you immediately hear. When we leave this out, this is just like a cocktail piano. So, but this is just So you gotta make sense of the, let's see what happens if we make it really easy, but somehow logic melody. Like I put as that I can play the melody here. I put the chord here. Okay. C. Now our chord here. F over C. G over C. works, huh? It suddenly works. It is otherworldly, ethereal, sort of leading to some other spaces. It's like levitating. But this is the beauty also about it. So if you can play these chords and find another way, find a way to connect them. In this way, I connect to F, and I use the melody that has a very clear outline and sort of makes sense. It connects the same, it has the same melodic structure. I keep to make these two chords glued together, like ba-dam, ba-dam, ba-bam, ba-dam, ba-dam, ba-dam. You see, already I have achieved it, okay? Now, let's take the next one. Now we come to two brothers, the F and the G chord over C. Now this is total convention. Why? Because they are part of the universe of the C diatonic scale. You all know that, and to fit them over C, no problem, I show you. C, F now, inversion, C, G over C. You've heard them a gazillion times. Well, let me just put at random, let me just make up a melody. What could we take? Just 5 notes. C, G, F, and G. Hey, that's catchy. I might make a song of it. I'll call it, let's say, a groovy kind of dove. Yeah, that's a good title. So you see, that's total mainstream. There is tension, but it's so familiar and it's not leading to you to, let's say, LSD universe, because they're so related to each other. Still very beautiful. You can do a lot of stuff with it, but it's just not what we're heading for. Anything possible. Okay, so let's see what we can do. What would be the next one? Of course, the hardest ones are, I found personally, is the D flat or the B major triad over. That comes in the end, just to keep you hooked. They're exciting. Okay, now the A, major triad over C. Okay, let's see. This is a tough one. Feel. Go feel. By this time, your ear is already like arrived in this lesson and is prepared for something. I showed you a couple of sort of ethereal sound, and your ear already is within these the couple of minutes we had already. It's sort of already like, you know, prepared for something. But this is still a tough one. And this is, I found that pretty hard to connect. So I had to find a melody. Let's say. Again on C, like now the A. You see, it's a strong tension. We have the A. And I put it like quite cheesy, simple melody. Ba, la, 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 la. That makes total sense in itself. Here we have to really, if I would try to make a song of this, I would have to work a little to make this fit in. But if I managed to put this in, I would have probably have an extraordinary song because it sticks out. Now let's move on to the, let's take now, there's not a real chromatic order here. I just want to keep the hardest bits for the rest. So we go now to the B flat, this one here. And it's not an exotic chord over C. Because this at the same time is the C7, 9 and sus4. We have that a lot in pop music, like B flat has a hidden C, the 9, and it's a very strong pop chord, pop piano chord. We can almost do anything with it. Here it is. And this makes the F kind of the 1, the tonic. Yeah, we have the C7 in the kind of way. It's a dominant chord. If we impose the B flat, it becomes the C7, which is a dominant chord, and we could easily go now to F. Oh, sorry. Okay, so that's and also it's part of the well, it's not part of the C major universe, the B flat, but it's part of the blues scale universe of not of the diatonic, but of it's the 7th step of the blues scale. So and since pop music and rock music has its roots in the blues scale, there's like rock music is doing a lot with this chord. That was not so good. Here, you see, it's not at all a strange chord in C when we do a pop or rocky song in C. Okay, so it's just the cultural root is different. It's not European diatonic scale. Okay, now let's move. Okay, we go now from the B flat, we go now to the A flat chord. Well, I do relatively little theory in this. Well, because we want to listen to the sounds, and also I'm not a master of like deriving all chords theoretically, like the triple dominant parallel of the diminished. But here we want to see that the A flat major chord is actually the 6th step chord of the C minor. Here it is. So when we play the 6th step now, the A flat major triad, like it feels a little bit like we're changing the tonality from minor to major. You will see. First of all, what do you feel? It's not that hard for the ear, right? It's not that hard work for the ear. So if we do a little bit with the melody, that should be just fine, or if we put it into context, but you can see it feels like it's resolving from a kind of minor feeling back to a major feeling. Can you feel? Can you feel it? I hope so. You gotta switch on your emotions here for my lessons. Okay, now we have this. You see, here we have the minor third of the C minor, which is part of the E of the A flat triad here. Can you feel the change of tonality from minor to major? You want to hear something funny? In Germany, we call the tonality, the minor or major, we call it the sex. Yes, that's right, S-E-X. You might have heard of that word. Like das Tongeschlecht means the sex of the chord. Like the Geschlecht means also your private parts. That's funny, huh? I know you love these stories. Okay, now we have the C and then the A major, A flat, major, try it, and then listen to this, we could go to F now. And we have another super hit song. And F. Beautiful, no? So this is going out a little bit. It's so slightly off, but not too much. Let's see about, now it's coming. Oh, this is a tough one. Okay, now, because we're now coming to the G flat, which is totally out. While in the A flat, we still have the C in there. We kind of have the minor third of C, but now we have something that is completely out. Like really out. And this one. Listen. This is a drug trip, but for free. And already you can tell, if I play it now again, that your ear has sort of said, well, you serve me this dinner, I try to make the best of it. I try to find something positive in it, and then it makes a kind of journey, it makes a kind of visual thing from it, like that takes you places. Gotta be very careful about what I do here. The slightest trip and I'm done. You see, but we can. If we play some of these really strange chords, you have to play more than once. You have to give the ear the opportunity to make friends with it. But when you give it the time, then it's blue, its effect, its otherworldly, ethereal effect starts to bloom in you. And then, depending on your character, and if you're sort of sensitive to this, it becomes something. Oh, that was daring. And we go back. A flat chord. Sorry for playing a little bit, I like it. And then and so on. You see, again, I was embedding it into a little sort of storyline, and I repeated this second time around. You get it. What do we have now? Oh my goodness. This is gonna be hell. The E flat. I gotta switch off. I gotta have some tea before I go to that. Okay, first, if we listen to it the first time, nothing bad. It's a C minor 7. If we put the E flat diatonic, the E flat, speaking gets all mixed up. So this E flat major triad together with the C is the C minor 7. Come on, Christian, pull yourself together. But if we connect it with the from C, and already I was trying, helping a little bit, like it made already kind of a logic, connected that already, but just by that, by itself, it's very close related to just a change of the sexes, as you just learned, the private parts of the chord, the tonality, because we're going from just a plain C to the why is Siri suddenly go on? Siri just wants to talk to me. She had heard the word private part or sex. That's when she wakes up. Okay, now, so we have just a kind of tonality change here from C major to C minor, just with this annoying minor 7 here that sort of is disturbing. But you know songs where the tonality changes from minor to major. Plenty. They always have a kind of a dramatic, musically feeling, I find. La. F minor. Oh, we didn't want to do minor chords today. Okay, but you see, it's not my favorite, because I'm not a great fan of minor to major. There's a certain stigma, a certain I don't like it. This is a too classical feeling of modulation. But you see, after a while, it already starts to make sense to your ear. Let's go to better territory. We are approaching now the D flat. Okay, now it's the last but one, the D flat chord over C. Okay, ready? Yeah, that's it. It's quite clashing here. We have this clashing, and it's really a special candidate here. It is comparable to the sound of the G flat chord. It's also taking you to like Lord of the Rings country, or to film music, or to something I find rather visual. It sort of hijacks you. Is that the word? Hitchhikes? Hijacks. It hijacks you. It takes you captive. And you have to connect it, since it's a strange candidate, with the melody. You could not just and then play any note. Where this sounds... Well, I played it for a while, so for me this doesn't sound too strange, but for you it might. Okay, let's... You see, I play the inversion of it, that I can do some humdrum in the right hand, okay? Okay. For you pundits out there, if I'm on the C, D flat chord, D flat major chord, what scale is it? If you want to know, it's called the Ludian sharp 11 scale. No, the Ludian is always a sharp 11. Yeah, it's a Ludian scale. But it's not a jazz tutorial. But I know some of you might want to ask what this is. The Ludian is a major scale of D flat with a sharp 11. So you see, it works. It has almost something Spanish. But we know this chromatic approach. We have this in our ears somehow. We even have that in blues, like. So our ear has learned it from radio and stuff. So, and we know it this effect from film music that play a lot with these effects of creating something spooky, haunting, like from a fantasy world, and then you can do almost anything. Once you set it this, you establish this sound. ear is completely at ease with it. Well, don't expect a thrash metal song using it. So if you're rather into thrash metal, just skip. Now we go to the last one. I found that tricky. I always find that tricky. These things happen rarely in your usual cliche songs, so you don't have any cliches or licks ready that you know fit with it. Sometimes you think this scale might fit and it doesn't. It really depends. My mantra for you is always there is no fixed recipe for all of it. The recipe is the good sound afterwards. If you use too much theory, you are lost. If you're using too little theory, you are lost. It's in the middle. It's this one. Again, listen to your first impression. As I said before, by now your ear is ready to take anything. It's already tripping. And so this might now, at this point, be not too strange, but if you play it like a week from now, it might sound wrong. Anyway, so, and now we start from C. It's totally not C major territory here, and it's creating, creating a strong tension. And there I would have to make up something that resolves this tension. I could either always go back, so the ear eats it as a sequence. You know, now your ear has eaten it. And then I could start anything. Why not? Taking you on the tension road. You can do anything. Like this multi-tonality is now established. You don't have even to pay a lot of attention to the scale. What did I do? I was like a C and then the B on top, played here as an inversion, and then I was finally giving in and played the full B with the right root. That's how I decided to resolve it here. And then once or the B7 chord, and then finally go to A minor from here. So. C, B overimposed, superimposed, and now give in. That's fun. I hope you liked our little journey here. If you liked it, please leave your thumbs. That would be appreciated highly. Also for these special lessons, it is also very much appreciated if you support me on my Patreon site, where you also get some extras every now and then. Bye bye from Berlin. Take care. Stay safe.